everybody, it's Sophie from littlebrownharevintage.com. Thank you very much for watching my last video on how to paint a piece of chalk furniture. If you haven't seen how I painted this lovely side table, then I'll post a link down below and you can check out that video. But today is going to be all about waxing. So I'm going to show you how to wax a piece of furniture using just clear wax. There are two types of different wax that you can use with Annie Sloan chalk paint. There's this one, which is the Annie Sloan soft wax in the clear. And then there's this one, which is the Annie Sloan soft wax in the dark. I'll just show you the difference so you can see. So this is what the clear looks like inside. It's a bit, I suppose it's like if a candle had melted, it's a bit like that, like a soft candle wax kind of texture, not scary. And then the dark wax is scary and it looks like that. It's like mascara, I think. Yeah. But don't worry, I'll do a tutorial on the dark wax as well. It is more scary than the clear wax, but honestly, once you get the hang of using it, then it's fine. I've just got dark wax on my floor. That's why you need to have a cloth on the floor. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to wax this table. Now, you may remember that I painted this table using a custom mix of Annie Sloan Chateau Grey and Old White. It's 1 part Chateau Grey and 1 part Old White. And it's actually, I think, really similar to my kitchen cupboards, which are blue in reality, but this is kind of a greeny colour. But they do look very similar. This will, though, go darker. And when you paint a piece of furniture, the colour that comes out initially when you paint won't be the colour that you finish with. It does always darken with wax. So let's get started on waxing the furniture. So to wax your furniture, you need a lint-free cloth. Now the best thing for this are old socks. You can use cut-up pillowcases, old t-shirts. I've used most of my boyfriend's old t-shirts, so now I'm on to something else. I've actually, I went and bought some of these just like cleaning cloths from the really cheap pound shop, and they do a great job. The only thing is that they do leave sometimes these slight fibres. If you're using, if you're painting something that's a darker colour, I would use a darker cloth to wax. That's why I have this old t-shirt here, which I do use for darker coloured pieces. Some people use steel wool to wax as well, which is also great, but not as good for light coloured pieces because, again, it can leave kind of a grey finish. The best thing, I think, for waxing, and the cheapest thing, is kitchen roll. So I just take 1 piece to wax and 1 piece to wipe, and you wax on, wax off, like the dance move. So what I'm going to do then is take my kitchen roll and just fold it in half a few times. Now, or you can use your cloth. If you want to, you can use a wax brush. Annie Sloan do wax brushes. In my personal opinion, you don't need them, but they are quite good for getting into crevices, which is more difficult with a kitchen roll. So all I do is put my cloth into the wax. You don't want, I don't know if you can, you can't really see that, but you don't want too much wax on your cloth. Put a lower amount of wax on the table. Sorry, that's my dog. Oh, hello, Teddy. Off you go now. Oh, by the way, dogs love wax. So keep it out of the way of dogs because they will eat it. Teddy, sorry, had to go and get rid of the dog. So yes, as I was saying, don't put too much wax on your cloth. You can always put more on, but it's really difficult to take it off. So anyway, I'm going to show you how to wax this table. So I've got my wax on my cloth. All I'm going to do is wipe it on like that, and then in my other hand, where's it gone? Oh, there it is. I'm just going to wipe it off. So you just wipe it on with one hand, wipe it off with the other hand, and as you can see, the colour difference from the wax. Now, when you wax, after you've put the wax on, you shouldn't feel any kind of waxy surface at all. If you can feel moisture, there's too much wax on, wipe it off with a cloth. So you just keep on putting a little bit of wax on your cloth, kind of rub it on, wipe it off. If you follow Annie Sloan, or have read things that Annie Sloan does, she talks about it like putting on hand cream. How you would kind of rub in a hand cream. You wouldn't just let it sit on the top of your hand. You work it into your hand, and you do the same with this. Chalk paint is really highly absorbent, so it's great for waxing. So we just keep on going like this. I saw something on Facebook this morning actually. Somebody had posted about why wax? Why wax a piece of furniture? What's the big deal about waxing? Really, you want to wax to protect your furniture. It gives it protection from scratches, from dents. Obviously, you still need to be careful with your piece, but it just gives it an extra layer of protection. And after the wax has cured, which takes about 21 days, it should also provide a certain level of water resistance as well. When you accidentally get water on the wax, you can it just kind of beads, and you can just wipe it off. I've now put the wax on the top of my table. So you probably, you can't see, and really you're not supposed to be able to see, because that's the whole point of waxing. I'll put some wax on here, and you can see, if you can see as I go, the kind of colour. You can see it there, look. So I'm just wiping the wax on, and then with my clean cloth, wiping it off. Okay, so I'll wax the whole piece of furniture, and then after I've done it, I will show you a comparison between the unwaxed and the waxed. Okay, so I've waxed the two tables now, and you can see that the one on the left has been waxed and the one on the right hasn't. So it just really gives it a slightly darker hue, not much, but as I say, the real difference is in the feel of the table and also the protection it offers as well. Okay, so I've finished waxing the table now, and as you saw, the difference between the waxed and the unwaxed is slight, but it is there. Now, when you're waxing a table like this, or any kind of surface that's going to have things on, you probably need to do more than one coat of wax. I would recommend 2 to 3. You don't need to wait a long time. Literally, you wax. When you've waxed it, wax it again. I've waxed the rest of the table and things as well, but I'm just going to wax over this again, and it will just give it a second layer. Now, you might be able to see that as I'm waxing, I'm using long strokes. I'm not stopping in the middle of the piece. That's really important. It's just like when you paint, you need to paint in long strokes, you need to wax in long strokes as well, otherwise you will see it. When you wax, don't wax in like circular motions or crisscross, just straight across, either vertically or horizontally, because again you will see it if you don't wax like that. So that's my second coat of wax done, and I think for just a side table that will be enough. So don't put anything heavy on the table, don't put anything that's going to mark it for, I would say probably 2 weeks. Then it should take 21 days to cure, that's to fully harden. Personally, in my own home, I don't leave it that long, but if I was doing a piece for a client, I would tell them to leave it for 21 days until they put anything on top of the table. It's dry now, it's dry to touch. In fact, that feels a little bit tacky. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rub it again. In doing this now, I'm also buffing the piece, and that just gives it a nice kind of shine, and people that like that modern clean line finish might want to think about buffing their piece. I just want to talk to you a little bit about distressing. I haven't really distressed this piece at all because of what my clients wanted, although if I hold it up for you, you might be able to see that in, oh, I don't know if you can, sorry, the light's not the best, you can see that in certain areas it has kind of distressed itself, and it does do that through, there you can see that on the leg there, look. So it does that naturally anyway, that's what happens with chalk paint, and it will distress slightly as you wax. But if you want to distress it further, I would recommend using just a really fine steel wool to lightly rub onto the wax, and then that will take the top layer of paint off. I don't personally like to use sandpaper because it takes too much of the paint off, so I just use the steel wool, and you do that before you wax because then you can dust all the sand off and the sawdust or the bits, and you make sure that none of it will stick in the wax. Okay, so that's my video on clear waxing a piece of furniture using Annie Sloan's clear soft wax. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it answered your questions. If you have any more questions, oh sorry, another pet. If you have any more questions, then please just leave a comment down below, or alternatively you can go on my website and contact me through there. It's www.littlebrownharevintage.com, and I'll put a link down below for that as well. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and keep your eyes peeled for my video on dark waxing coming soon. Thanks, bye!